Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. This is Nigeria Now on Equa Television International. And like always, this is the time that this show normally comes up, and then we look at issues, around Nigeria, which will give people opportunity from all over the country and even outside the shore of Nigeria to say their mind on things that are happening in the country, so that we'll profile solution and then we'll move our country forward. And doing this today is no other person, the same person that normally be on this show, Joyce Jakada. Always happy, doing the show with you. How are you doing?
Fine, thank you.
Looking great.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's a great day. It's a beautiful day, and thank God for life. Good to have you as well.
Yeah. Quickly, the elections have come, and then I would say to some certain extent are over. Presidential, National Assembly, gubernatorial, the State House of Assembly. But yes, it's not over yet, because still there's another level of politicking that is going on around the country, particularly in the National Assembly. And I think this is where we're going to draw our point, and then look at issues around what is going on in the National Assembly, concerning the election, who takes which office, from the President of the Senate, Vice President, Speaker, House of Reps, Deputy Speaker, Minority Leader, you can name them, and that is what is happening. And normally, after elections like this, you see people crisscrossing the country, like looking for people, those members, those senators across state, trying to lobby them for whatever position that they are looking for, And then this time around, the 10th Assembly, because the 9th Assembly is winding up, and then definitely, because now the presidency have shifted now to the South, and then not just South, but Southwest. So definitely it would affect the national, the federal character, put it that way. When the president is coming from here, the vice president from here, the Senate from here, so we talk about zoning and the rest. But this is what is going on now, the politicking for the 10th Assembly, who takes what seat, and the rest, that is what is going on. And then you hear the noise in the political realm, that's what you'll be hearing now. It's either tribunal or what is going on in the National Assembly for the ones that are coming.
Well, the 2023 elections that I think is leading to this conversation of the 10th National Assembly is one of the historic elections in Nigeria. There were a lot of expectations even before the election, and during the election it was more like there had never been election before. People were so interested. People paid keen attention to the activities that are leading to the election, and even during the election and before, we saw how that people were up and about. It was more like, well, we want to see till the end of this. And going by the promises that INEC gave the president, saying, I want to leave as a free, fair, credible election, people had high expectation, and no wonder the turnout. This is the first time we're even introducing technology to our elections, and it gave people hope and confidence in the whole process. We saw how that as early as 5 a.m. people turn out to vote for their members and the president as well. And it's quite unfortunate that after the presidential election of February 25th, people were expressing dismay at the outcome of the election, because one will say that based on the fragility of Nigeria at this moment, people talking about, there's issues of disunity, there are issues of some people being sidelined, which has led to agitations, led to secessionist movement amongst all of that. One will feel, it is important to carry everybody along. And when the APC came out with the Muslim ticket, a lot of people felt, this is going to be a disadvantage to this party. Even though the presidential candidate, as at that time, said, I looked beyond ethnicity and religion. I was only going for competence. But so many people came out, even within the party, and said, so do you mean that from our zone or within us, there are no competent people? And they kicked against that. We saw the likes of Yakubu like leaving the APC, not showing support for that party, and even canvassing for support for presidential candidates from other party. That's amongst other people. And people said, no, this is like insulting the sensitivity of Nigerians as a whole, and just trying to be on top of other tribes, religions, and all of that. So more like the APC, there was no issue of zoning during their presidential election. And well, after the election, we saw INEC announcing the APC presidential candidates as well as his vice president-elect and vice president-elect, to a lot of people's dismay. And we saw how that about 10 political parties have gone ahead to the court to file some form of petitions and register their grievances with the whole process and all of that, even though the APC will maintain, oh, this is the freest and fairest election Nigerians have heard, but other people will say, no, this is not the representation of the people. So people are saying, oh, in the face of justice, fairness, and equity, there are actually expectations. If the president-elect, talking about Bola Ahmed Tinubu of the APC, is from the southwest, Lagos particularly, and then Shetima, his vice president, is from the northeast, Borno. Oh, in all fairness, now going to the 10th Assembly, now the number 3 position in the country, there should be some form of equity. Like in all fairness, people will say, can you zone it to the south? And then for some people, they'll go ahead to say, can it even be a Christian? Because already you're having a Muslim as president, vice presidential candidate, a Muslim. Now, in the 3rd position, there should be some level of fairness. And then we're seeing that even within the APC, which obviously have the large number of people at the National Assembly, going by the election, I think out of the 109 seats, 102 have been confirmed, like re-elected and elected. And then APC, I think, had 55. And then PDP had 33, Labour Party had 8, NMPP had 2, SDP had 2 senators. And so when you go by this breakdown, of course, APC have the highest number of Senate seats. And then coming to the House of Representatives, out of the 360 seats, I think 326 have been confirmed, and APC have 160. PDP have 105, and Labour Party 34, NMPP 18, ABGA 4, SDP 2, ADC 2, YPP 1. Obviously, there is a mixture this time around, because there are parties that people didn't even imagine, oh, at the end of the day, they are going to be emerging, but we have them like at the National Assembly. Even though people are expressing concern, oh, PDP, they should have had the majority of seats, but some political critics will tell you that maybe because of the conflict within the PDP, that has actually affected even them winning some of these political seats at the National Assembly. But what is the bone of contention right now? Who becomes the Senate president, who becomes the speaker. These are key positions. And so far, I think we have Uzo Kalu, we have Jibrin Barrow from Kano, Sani Musa from Niger, Godswill Akpabio from Akwa Ibom, one-time governor, and I think he has one of the highest supports, I think, from people that are from that place. And then Dave Umai from Ebonyi, Osita from Imo, Ahmed Lawal, again, who is the sitting Senate president, showing interest. And when you go to the position of the speaker, you see from Abia, Benjamin Kalu is showing interest, Tajuddin Abbas from the north, and going by experience. Of course, you know, the Senate, when you go to the House of Assembly, yes, the National Assembly, there are expectations that, oh, the person must be experienced, and all of that. There are a lot of expectation, and Tajuddin, I think, from that particular zone, is one of the persons with most experience, like being in the House from 2011. And then Aliyu Bufara, we have 42-year-old Yusuf Gagdi. When I mentioned his age, someone asked, why calling his age? Yes, he's a young person, and I think he's one of the people, again, showing interest in the position of the Speaker of the House. But the issue is national unity. The issue is Nigeria as a whole. The issue is regarding justice, fairness, and equity. People are saying, can APC as a house come? Somebody has defined, said that, for me, I think politics is beyond personal interest. Politics should be a game of consensus and compromise. And this is the time where a lot of people are having expectation. If come May 29th, Bola Ahmed Tinubu is being declared as, is being sworn in as president-elect, there should be some form of consensus and some form of compromise. If you are having these people from this zone, this president from this southwest, you're having the vice presidential candidate
Northeast.
from the northeast, and both Muslims. Now, coming to the number 3 seat, who should be there? So beyond personal interest, this is the time where we should see them looking at national interest. But of course, from even within the APC already, some of the northern fellows that are showing interest in the position of the Senate as well as the speakers are saying, can we disregard this issue of zoning? After all, we didn't even do that during the presidential election. So can we do that? And then people are saying, in all fairness, do you mean that now you should have, because there are Muslims that also want that position of the Senate. So you mean the president, a Muslim, vice president Muslim, Senate Muslim, Speaker Muslim? I think for some of the even APC members are saying no. This is going to cause a lot of political crisis if care is not taken, like from the south, for example. These people will tell you, oh, one of the wealth of Nigeria is from this region, and you cannot say you want to disregard us. And then for the southeast, again, we've had situations or times where Uzo Kalu will say, Emilokon, this is the language that we had the president-elect saying, it is my turn. And he is also putting it to him that it is my turn. So in all fairness, can you consider the southeast as well? I think there's actually a lot of expectations when it comes to the 10th National Assemblies. And Nigerians are also saying, we don't want a National Assembly that will be yes sir, kind of National Assembly. Can we have a National Assembly that will stand for the people, that will represent the people, that will be all about the interests of Nigerians? Can we have that? I think the APC should sit down, because it should sit down together and look at this thing critically, beyond personal interest. Like I always maintain, national unity is key. And if we see, as we speak right now, there's already disagreement within the APC because of this position. There are people from the south that are already expressing anger and all of that. People from the north are saying, no, disregard zoning and all of that. When they continue on that trajectory, you're going to be empowering opposition parties. These people can come together and they become a majority. And of course, they can determine who becomes all of that.
Of course, always have his way.
And again, we don't want to end up having political crisis. Like I said earlier on, there's already issue of the South, like being already like more like sideline. So the Southeast will tell you we have been silent for a long time and all of that. Now these are key positions. These are key positions that the APC, and I think should come to a consensus and compromise. It is not about, oh, because some people tell you the most votes that APC got is from our zone. And disregarding whether there's anything like equity or fairness or justice, as far as we work for you, you got the highest vote from this place, you must pay us back by giving us this position. Nigeria must not be thrown into political crisis, because most times when things like this happen, it is the common man that suffers at the end of the day. These people, that's why we always tell Nigerians, see, don't allow, because of the interest of one politician, you get yourself into some of these crises, or be used to go and start up some kind of fight and all of that. At the end of the day, these people will not be there. It is you that will be affected and your neighbor that will be affected. At the end of the day, you go to the market, prices are hiked. It should be about Nigeria and national interests.
I agree with you, and that is what we've been echoing here. You know, talking about majority always having their own way, you know, which is the normal thing you find out there, you know, when you talk about politics. And I solidly agree with you when you talk about, you know, them not putting their house in order can just give an advantage to even the opposition, because even the opposition are not even just quiet concerning, you know, even the leadership of the house, because they are also working on the ground, seeing how they will bring up other political parties, you know, the opposition, the ones that doesn't that are having few numbers, like the PDP now, they are really working hard to see how they will have more like a consensus, you know, between them, agreement, like coming together, all of the minorities in the House, then form a majority, then present one person. Definitely, if you are talking majority, they will have their way.
Solomon, as we speak, there's already disagreement even within the APC. The vice chairman, national chairman now from the Northwest, Dr. Salihu Lukman, has already alleged that there are some people that are already going on bribing the leadership of the APC, like giving money, huge sum of money, so that they can leave the issue of zoning so that it can favor them. In fact, Dr. Lukman pointed out that there is a member from the Northwest, that is even giving jeeps to people that promise that they are going to vote him. We've had, he also alleged that there are people already giving bags of rice, like amongst other things, just so that with money and all of that, please, can we disregard this issue of zoning so that at the end of the day, this thing can just favor? Like I say, why can't politicians take some seconds and think about the reason why they are going there? How would you, if people are giving money, bribing their way through, tell me how you won't have a National Assembly that will be yes sir, yes sir. How would you have a National Assembly that will go out there and represent the interests of their constituency or of the zones that they're actually representing if you're already bribing your way into it? I think, like I always say, leadership is about the people. It's about service from the heart to the people. You cannot go there bribing your way through, trying to disregard the unity of this nation and all of that. A lot of people, so many people have given their lives so that Nigeria can be where it is today. And sometimes I wonder if our heroes past will look at all that is happening in Nigeria and actually be happy, or they will regret losing their lives in the process of making Nigeria stand today. I think beyond personal interest, politicians, leaders at all levels should take some second and think about humanity.
Well, I'm very sure that this 10th assembly will come with a difference, because I see the nature of how they constitute the House. You know, seeing like the APC not having that total majority that they can do and undo, you know, but the fear of Nigerians is that, you know, some of this opposition, you know, when it comes to the issue of personal interest, that is where you begin to see the issue of decamping, you know, from one political party to the other. This political party will give you a mandate, and then because of one particular interest in the House, you're jumping so that to add up, you know, the number to one political party that they are dragging you simply because they want to have the majority, promising you all sort of things, you know. Maybe committee member or chairman or vice chairman or the rest. These are some of the things that they use, you know, to lure them, to tell you that yes, when you give us this, we will give you, we will take you to this committee, we give you this chairman of this particular committee, you know, and the rest. But like you rightly said, can we come together and think about this nation? Now you have laid the preamble of, you know, how, you know, we anticipated this long-awaited 2023 general election like it will never come. But now we are not talking about it. Now we are talking about how governance will kickstart. But you see, already we are not healed. Let me put it that way. With even the shock that we got after the election. Seeing that so many things went wrong. Like people now are trying to heal, and then we're trying to just keep moving. But we can't afford to see all of these things happening, that, you know, politicians are still thinking about certain things that you can see glaring that is not the national interest. So at this point, I think, like you rightly said, it is good for the politicians come together and said, you know, where is the country driving? What is the interest of this nation? How can we drive it? You know, we are divided across religious lines, region, ethnicity, name them. Can we just find a way that the National Assembly can just unite us so that we will not feel this heat like still coming?
Well, you spoke about healing, but I know that they can't be healing without addressing the problem. And like I always maintain, a nation can only be built on justice and where you have integrity. So the needful must be done. The needful must be done.
Well, we are looking forward to see how everything would unfold in the National Assembly, but we feel national interest is really key. Sure. Nigeria on red list for health workers recruit. UK are saying Nigeria on red list.
Well, it's no news. Well, even though people woke up to that surprise, of course, that Nigeria is on the red list of the UK on an issue of active recruitment of skilled and experienced health and social care personnel. And then it's not just Nigeria, even like 53 other African countries, mostly African countries. And you will recall that going by since from the COVID-19 experience that we had, there has been like afflux of Nigerian health workers moving out to UK, US, Canada, and all of that. And then we've had instances where our health practitioners have been going on strike because of, they'll tell you unpaid allowances, hazard allowances, issues like all of that. And we keep seeing how federal government keep promising them, both at state and the federal level, keep promising and not meeting up to their promise, having issue of strike upon strike and all of that. And you will recall that this news is just coming after the House of Representatives recently passed for second reading the Medical and Dental Practitioner Act Amendment Bill 2022, which seeks to compel Nigerian trained doctors, nurses, and other health workers from immigrating from the country to work in either Europe or other parts of the world till they serve in Nigeria for minimum of 5 years. And then, like I said, for decades we've been having our health practitioners moving out of the country because they will tell you they are not being catered for well. And when they go outside Nigeria, you see how that from the pay, the allowances, everything is just like top notch. And I think these are some of the reasons why you always see them. They've complained over time of issue of brain drain. And UK is one of the places where you always see the afflux of immigration from Nigeria to that country. But right now, they are already saying Nigeria is on the red list. And so it means that they are not going to be recruiting, even though they said personally you can actually maybe apply to work with some personal agency, but going on agreement between the countries, like for now, they had actually stopped that. Well, even though the enemy have actually responded to that, saying that UK putting them on red list will not stop them from actually applying to work in other in other countries. But why would we have these kind of statement and responses? Is if our health sector is properly catered for, if everything is being done as expected, I don't think we'll be having this kind of issue. Today, as we speak, a lot of politicians keep going to other countries, and most of them are being treated by Nigerian trained doctors outside. So if we can put this money into this sector, most of the doctors will tell you about the fact that, see, there's issue of brain drain. How many are we working in this place? The facilities are not even available. Today, when you go for treatment, they will tell you, go and buy this drug in so private hospital. No, we don't have this facility, can only go to. And like, if we can prioritize our health sector, like health is one thing that no government should joke with. So if we prioritize our health sector, making sure that equipment are in place, we take care of our health practitioners, paying them properly, their allowances and all of that, I think they won't have any reason to even say, oh, replying UK that, yeah, we are not deterred, that even though you put us on red list, there are other countries that we can go to. So I think the government in Nigeria, the federal government, state government should do the needful by equipping our own health facilities, paying them as that when due. And I think that will reduce this issue of immigration.
Well, we just pray that the appropriate authority will do the needful.
Sure.
So thank you so much, Joyce, for doing this Nigeria Now with me today.
Always a pleasure.
Yeah. And for viewer out there, we sincerely appreciate you for staying with us, giving us your time. Thank you so much. Nigeria Now will continue tomorrow, same station, same time. So just do well to keep dropping your comment on things that we are discussing. Thank you and God bless you.